So you can see our oil is changing color. When we poured, it was very reddish. But now, after adding the sulfonic acid and stirring for 2 minutes, see. So after stirring our oil for 2 minutes, after adding our sulfonic acid, I'm now going to add the hydrogen peroxide, same quantity, 2.5 ml. So this is our hydrogen peroxide. So you see it's colorless, just like water. So when you go to the chemical sellers, you tell them you want hydrogen peroxide, they will give it to you. So you add and then you stir. So after adding our hydrogen peroxide, you see how the oil, the reddish color is all gone. So me, what I normally do is I leave it overnight and use it the next day. But you can actually go ahead and use it right away. But I always want the chemicals to mix very well and settle. And naturally, at times when you use the correct oil, maybe the red oil we used to eat, like cook in the house, we'll see that the color will be bright. But this is red oil for soap making. That's why the color is like looking dirty after adding the chemicals. But when you are using the red oil for cooking, and you see that even after that, it will become very bright. But this is actually red oil for soup. You know that ones. At times you use the add some of the spoiled palm fruit to add and make it. So it's not as quality as the one we eat. So you see, now our red oil, all the reddiness of it is gone, and we can use it for our soup. So our oil is done and can be used for the Azumah blues. You understand? This is chemically bleached. But if you use fire to bleach it, it will become like the palm kernel oil. So now, after you are done with your oil, so this is our caustic soda solution, which I have made over 3 days ago. And we are going to use them to make this Azumah blues. So now I said the water to caustic soda is 1:3. So when you are done with your oil, the caustic soda solution you have made to the oil, the ratio is 1:2. So 1 part of caustic soda solution is to 2 parts of oil. So, or 2 parts of caustic oil to 1 part of caustic soda solution. So we'll measure 250 ml of oil. So we are going to measure 125 mils of caustic soda solution to add to this production. So let me measure the 125. So 100 ml. So there we have it. 125 ml. So I think it's a little more to go. So 125 ml caustic soda solution. So we will now add it to our oil and make our Azumah blues. So you add and stir to make your soup. So that's the soup forming. That's Azumah blues. We have made our soup like that. So our caustic soda solution and oil has mixed properly. Look at how nice this looks like. So we'll now quickly mold our soup. So to mold our soup, it's always good you use poly bags and socks. So when I'm to mold, because this gloves you see is very soft, and this solution is very caustic and very hot as you see it standing. So if you are to use this, the nature of the destiny will not even help you get that smoothness around when molding it. And secondly, it will end up melting and sticking to your hands, which will hurt your hands. So I normally first of all put on my poly bags. Even after wearing this, you can still top it up by wearing socks on top. You understand? Before you start molding your soap. Mm? This is very hot as you see it, so it is very very hot. So don't joke when it comes to this soap. So you will get someone to tie it nicely for you so that you get a good aim. So that's our soap done and dusted. That's our Azumah blow. See how heavy this is. 250 ml of oil and 125 ml of caustic soda solution, and we have our Azumah blows done. So this red oil, bleached red oil, using chemicals to bleach our red oil. So we are now going to use palm candle oil to also make the same Azumah blues. Okay, so stay tuned. So first one is done, the second one almost. So that's our Azumah blues done and dusted. So this is it. 250 ml of oil, red oil with palm oil, then 125 ml of caustic soda. And I think this is now sold in the market 5 cedi. So that's 10 Ghana cedi you are seeing. That's 10 Ghana cedi soap we have just made like that. So Azumah blows is simple to make and it's very lucrative. Unlike the bar soap, you need to add other things. Azumah blows is just your caustic soda solution and your oil. But why we normally use red oil is because red oil is a very hard oil and it gives a very heavy soap. You see how when you lift Azumah blows, it's very heavy. That's the heaviness red oil. Aside red oil, it's little oil that can give you that kind of heaviness of soup. But red oil tops all. So when it comes to Azumah blows, especially when you are using for commercial purposes, you have to use red oil. You have to use red oil so that you will get that heaviness you need. So that even if it's very small, when the person lifts it, it feels very heavy and you know that this is Azumah blues. You understand? So this, as you are seeing, is very, very, very heavy. You understand? So this Azumah blues using red palm oil. So we are coming to try using the palm candle oil. I'm trying this because in case maybe you don't have red oil available, you have palm candle. Some places palm candle are very cheap than red oil. You can blend it actually and then use for your Azumah blues. But mostly we use red oil because the red oil gives a very, very heavy soap. So let's put these two aside and now try out with our palm candle oil.